Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel today. And have I got some crazy news for you today? Now, this news on the surface of things may not appear to be that revelatory, shocking, disturbing, but actually when you look deeper into it, this is pretty serious. In fact, I'd say this is one of the most serious things that could impact the world in a very long time. Now, before we get on to that, because I do want to really dive into it, we have the BRICS summit has just started today. So everyone has flown in, all the world leaders, apart from Putin, who hasn't come in. His 2IC has come in his place. But apart from that, all of the world leaders are in. They are in South Africa for the summit. I've been following it live, and I really want to get into some of the stuff that is coming out there, but we just need to wait a little bit longer to see everything that comes out, and I'll cover that later on. But today's news then is absolutely enormous. Let me tell you what happened. IBM have just done a new report. In fact, they did 2 reports, and these reports have been ongoing for quite a long time. The first report looked at C-level executives from over 3,000 companies. So C is the CEO or the CFO, COO, etc. So this is the most senior people in 3,000 of the largest companies. That was the first report. They had that, and then they went on and did another report. And the second report surveyed 21,000 workers right across the spectrum, across 22 countries. Now, why would they do such a big report? What was the impact of this? What is it that they wanted to know? Well, it was all around job displacement. Now, bear with me here because I know you've heard this a lot in AI and everything else, but this one is so severe that I think this is going to blow away anything else that's out there right now. And here's why. The report showed, when they correlated it, that AI within the next 3 years, so this is between 2023 and 2026, is going to replace over 1.4 billion people, billion jobs throughout the global workforce. Now, if you don't think that is impactful, let me share with you why that's going to create such a extreme environment around the world. I don't think people have even started to contemplate yet, and how this is going to affect all sorts of things, right from you and your income, your salaries, your pensions, your investments, all these other things, right through to AI almost completely taking over. Why? Well, let me outline what I'm seeing that I don't think other people are seeing here. When you have that level of job displacement, 1.4 billion with a B people throughout the world, this isn't going to take in a lot of the developing nations here. Yes, it will take in some people, but this is really going to affect developed nations who are already suffering with automation and robotics and AI. And in fact, 87% of people surveyed said that they feel as though they are training their replacement through robotics and AI, but they don't feel they have a choice, because if they don't do it, someone else will. And that's why the salaries for these roles are so incredibly high. Now let's talk about your income and pensions and everything else. You think about how I've been talking about how pensions won't be there in the future, and how you've got to be really, really careful with your pension right now. So think about how the model has always existed. You've had this very bottom-heavy structure of more workers at the bottom and more retirees at the top, right? Now, if you think about that structure and how it's existed for a long period of time, we're starting to see that flip. And we are going to see that flip even more as we go through this wave that's rippling through now. So you're going to have a lot more retirees at the top relying on income. And it is income, it's not money that already exists. It's going to be income because it's a giant Ponzi scheme. That's what a pension is, I'm sorry to say. Even if you don't agree with me, that is how I see it, as a giant Ponzi scheme. That's all I can see of it. Because you previously had all these workers that earned money, paid into the program, and that helped those people who were retired. And yes, the retirees have also paid into it, I get it. But Think about this so that we're not splitting hairs here. When all of these workers at the bottom are no longer there because they've been replaced by a robot, they've been replaced by AI, who is then going to be paying into these pension funds that are already bankrupt? This is not me saying it. This is the governments of the Western world. This is the largest corporations in the world. You look at their reports, they will tell you these pension funds are already bankrupt, but they're just being able to keep it going. In fact, look what happened very recently. It was a different scenario, but the Bank of England had to bail out the UK pension funds or they would have all collapsed. Now, you start to look at this on a larger scale. You bring in central bank digital currencies. You start bringing in all these new carbon and social credit scores and all these other things. This is only going one way. And now let's talk about your income. Well, not only are you a worker so that you get income, but you're also a consumer. You also spend money into the economy. What do you think happens when all this money starts to dry up because you are no longer required? Robots don't need a bathroom break. Robots don't need a pension. Robots don't need breaks to take to rest and have lunch and all these other things. They're not going to be consuming in the restaurants and the fast food and everything else. This is so wide-reaching. I can't even get this across to you at this point because I'm only scratching the surface of this. You think about government income as well. It's not just the sales tax or the VAT and other things on your spending. It's also tax on your salary. What happens when that starts to disappear? What are they going to do? Try and tax AI or a robot in some way? I don't really know. What about the board seats? How AI is even going to replace board members. It will start to replace senior executives, not just the people who do the lower income roles, but it's going to go all the way through. Eventually, you're going to have AI companies running everything. They're going to be running the S&P. They're going to be running pretty much everything you can think of. Now, if they are programmed around profitability, okay, and that's their metric, that is their mission, profitability, and they are experts in manipulation and they understand everything about you because all your data has been stored for many years now, do you think they're going to do the honorable thing as an AI when their pure mission is to make as much profit as possible? Of course not. They are going to manipulate all of us, and we will be manipulated because we won't know the difference between black and white and what is true and what is false, because they're going to manipulate us using our own minds and knowing our own weaknesses. You think things are pretty crazy now, just wait until later on. And this is exactly why last year I worked on my stock market course, which I know most of you who wanted to have taken now. This year I've been working on my money psychology course so I could get everybody ready for a new future, not based on a 9-to-5 kind of job, because these things I just don't see being there in the future in the same way they are today. So this is why I've been preparing you the investment kind of things, right through to having a backup plan, through to everything around your income, and now this psychology around money course so that you can break out of this current way of thinking and prepare for the future. And I just launched that to the private community a couple of days ago, and I'm going to launch it to everyone here today, but I don't want to detract from what I'm seeing right now in this video, so we'll come on to the course launch in a moment. But it's not just this. This isn't the only things that I'm seeing. It's not just that 40% of the global workforce will have to learn new skills and everything else that they are talking about. 1.4 billion workers will need to reskill. And then they have the impacts of this. Look at this. This is just by 2025. That is a year and a half, in fact, less than a year and a half away. You can see the sheer impact, the extreme impact. And of course, how is this going to start? The entry-level people. So if you are looking for, or you work in entry-level positions, this is going to affect 18% of those roles in a year and a half time. Seriously, whatever you are planning right now in terms of work, you need to rethink it, because I keep telling people about to graduate from university as well, be very wary, because some of these jobs that they are going into will not exist. And you can see where this is going. This is even going to replace executive and senior, an extreme impact. But you look at the entry level, moderate, significant, and extreme. And you look at the percentages here, this is unheard of. And IBM is actually one of the first companies to say it is not going to hire for jobs anymore that can be performed by AI. And you look at the impact this is having on people already, that we've already seen plenty of instances where AI has replaced or is expected to replace employees. The stress and anxiety over these job losses have led to 80% of tech workers using medications, either under a doctor's supervision or otherwise, as a coping mechanism. Heavy alcohol consumption is also becoming commonplace. Yes, because people are using this to mask what they know is coming. We just had a Bloomberg article out as well. 500,000 US jobs at risk of vanishing in this new payroll revision that's just about to come out. We have had this from BBC today, just came out 15 minutes ago here. Delivery firms cutting more than 1/10 of the workforce, 10% of the workforce here. They've already quit in Italy, Spain, France, and Portugal. They're operating in US, Germany, Netherlands, and Turkey. So you can see what is happening here already. You've just got to connect the dots. CNBC, American workers are demanding almost $80,000 a year to take a new job. Employers have been trying to keep pace with the wage demands, pushing the average full-time offer up to $69,500, a 14% surge in the past year. You imagine that. That is the reservation or the average reservation wage, $78,645 during the second quarter. So that's what was just gone of 2023. So it's gone up more than 22% just since 2019. And what do you think is the outcome of all of this? Well, check this video out. This is commonplace now. Just look at this. This is commonplace all over the place. This isn't just California. We're seeing this in major cities now. It is all over the place, this looting. What about this video that just came out? People are now using blow torches to get into, this shows you how much time they have to get into these safety deposit style boxes and just steal everything that's in there. We keep seeing all of these videos of downtown LA, the homeless encampments that just stretch on for miles and miles and miles. And this was previously a rare occurrence. But you look at Paris now, if we look at Paris and we look at some other places, this is Paris right now. This isn't a fake video, it isn't AI generated video. This is happening all over the world right now in major Western cities. And if you remember years ago when I was talking about all of these things I said would come to pass, people thought that was crazy talk. They thought I was nuts. And this is why I'm saying that to you now to prepare you for what is coming next. You've got to start rethinking about your income, about your pension, about your investments. You've got to start rethinking everything. Even simple things like where you live right now. You've got to start thinking prepping having that prepping kind of mindset around food security and all sorts of other things which I think are coming down the pipeline. So please do start thinking about these things and start thinking about preparedness here, start thinking about your families, because I know some of you were skeptics years ago when you first started watching me. I know because you put it in the comments all the time. But the writing is on the wall now. You can see what is happening before our eyes. You can see these reports about 1.4 billion jobs about to be displaced over the next 3 years. This isn't 10 years. This is in the next 3 years. There's still so much more to come. But let's move away from the negative side of things and let's move into the more positive side of things now then. Because my new course, The Psychology of Wealth Accumulation, is now ready. It is ready for your enrollment from today onwards. And you can read all about my story and where I've come from in just a very short space of time. How I didn't grow up super rich and wealthy like everyone seems to think for some reason. Everything I've done, I've built myself, and even how I've built this YouTube channel here from 0 to over 400,000 subscribers just in 3 years and how my living conditions have changed. I don't want to spoil the surprise, and how I spent really over 20 years just studying the wealthiest people and trying to come up with all the patterns and how they did it, and that's what I implemented throughout my life. You know, this is just such a powerful program, but it is a beast. I'm warning you now. This is an absolute beast of a program with over 140 videos in here, and you can see, I don't want you to just, you know, enroll without knowing what you're getting. You can see here everything that you get within the course. How you were born or created to be wealthy, but you've been programmed to be poor via this system that we always talk about. This is deliberate. They have deliberately programmed you. They've deliberately programmed in the whole taxation system as well, so that you wouldn't notice what it is that they have done here. The course helps you to take account, create a completely clean slate, so that you can then start to build this wealth accumulation. Does a lot of exercises so that you can really get from your subconscious all of your thoughts and beliefs around money. Then we're going to change those beliefs so that you are better prepared to create more wealth in your life. We go on to all the hidden aspects of money. We look at the history of money. We talk about not just fiat, but what came before fiat and CBDC, and understanding what's going to happen next and why you've got to be prepared for this. I mean, this is such a huge course. We go on to breaking the societal mind trap so that you don't think in the same way as the rest of society. There are so many exercises here for you to do. This is just going to break all these chains. Then we move into how to actually raise your financial thermostat. We go into how to explode wealth using all these concepts and constructs. You'll understand what wealthy people understand. We go into all the rules and principles of wealth. We then, and these are 2 bonus chapters, we then go into the metaphysical world of wealth accumulation, which I really put a lot of my success down to. It's just so powerful. And then bonus chapter 10 is such an incredible chapter. This is all strategy. So it's strategic things that you can do right away to actually build wealth a lot quicker and a lot safer. So I won't carry on with all of this. You can go on and you can look at all of these things here. You can look at what other people have said about the course and testimonials and things like that. It's 100% risk-free. You've got a 30-day money-back guarantee, as long as you don't, watch the entire course and then say, oh yeah, I need a refund now, Neil. I watched the whole course, but yeah, I just want a refund. No, so it's a little bit more strict than that. You can watch up to 50% of the course, and if you just honestly feel it's not for you, just email me and I will process that refund for you, so you can either pay in one payment or in 3 payments. So you just click this button here for the special offer today, and it will open up this window, and this is what will come up. It will show you the course here, and then it will show you, just make sure it's got this in here, YouTube. That is your code to get the discount on the course. So let me just show you. If the code is not there, do not fill in all your details, because it will bill you the full price. So what you need to do here is add the coupon code YouTube, click apply, and then just check before you process this that it does show 295. Okay, and it's as simple as that. You just put your details in, and then it will take you to the next screen, and it will get you straight into the course. So I'm just so excited for you to enroll in this course and just get absolute life-changing results from it. I honestly, there was always a missing piece for me, and other people said this as well, who asked me to create this course, because I've got all these other trainings for you, and I've got the investment side and I've got strategy side and things like that. But what I realized was a lot of it comes down to psychology. If your mindset isn't right, and you'll know yourself, you will know if your mindset is geared towards wealth and success or not. You see, mine wasn't. I didn't grow up in a rich household, in a rich area. I didn't go to a private school or a university or anything like that. So I always knew that I wasn't going to be rich or wealthy. It was only later on when I started studying these things and studying the richest people that I realized I could change my life and create wealth for myself. And remember, it's not just about money. Wealth is about having freedom, the freedom to do what you want to do in your life. That is really true wealth and freedom. It's not just about riches and money and things like that. Although the course will, help you to do that, of course, but this is really just about having that freedom. And, honestly, I really do think this is going to be life-changing for some of you, or maybe you think your children need to watch this program. Maybe you can get it them as a gift if they're really struggling right now, or you're worried about their future. Whatever it is for you, I just want to thank you in advance prior to your enrollment, and I just can't wait to hear of your success stories. So thank you so much for watching today's video. We've got a lot to cover this week, and apart from that, thank you so much for being a subscriber here. Take care, God bless, and I will see you very shortly with the next video.